Today on Eye on LC, students go green, the Lady Hornets put a sting in their competition, and LC hosts the Anderson Leadership Conference. Hello everyone, I'm Caroline Moore and this is Eye on LC. Lynchburg occupants are being forced to boil their water before consumption after a contractor broke into a 12-inch water main. Residents of the Wards Road area are warned to boil their water for up to 1 minute or to use water purification tablets. Officials said on Friday they were aiming to rectify the break within 36 to 48 hours. And now a word from the rest of the world with Becca Loftus in International News. Becca?
Hi, this is Becca Loftus with your international news. Demonstrators in Athens lined up in front of Parliament protesting the proposals to cut government spending, wages, and pensions in return for a Eurozone bailout from the debt-stricken country. The deal would be for €130 billion, of which Greece already owes $14.5 billion in debt repayments due next month alone. The bailout will result in significant losses to bondholders, but will hopefully reduce Greece's debts to 120% of gross domestic product by 2020. Israeli labor leaders and government officials have announced that they have reached an agreement ending a nationwide strike that froze the public sector for 4 days. The strike sought to improve employment conditions for workers in various sectors. The deal has led to an increase in monthly wages and social benefits for thousands of Israeli workers. The strike has reportedly cost about $648 million a day. A 5-year-old girl has been pulled alive from her home in southern Kosovo after an avalanche buried her under 33 feet of snow. The avalanche has killed at least 7 people already, with 3 people still missing. Rescue crews are still looking for other survivors. Lastly, Venezuelan voters are heading to the polls to pick a candidate to run against current ruler Hugo Chavez. The 5 candidates have agreed to back each other no matter who wins the primary, uniting on their hate for Chavez. The candidates are calling for reforms that Chavez has not achieved despite his arguments that he has decreased poverty and increased social programs. Elections for the presidency will be held in October. That's all for International. Back to you, Caroline.
Thank you, Becca. LC is striving for a greener lifestyle for its residents. Students are joining up to make better efforts at conservation. Connor Knight tells us more.
Thanks, Caroline. Let's find out how students are staying energy efficient for this 2012 Conservation Challenge. Paris, what are you doing to conserve water and reduce energy use?
Well, in the daytime, we're keeping our light off, and we're taking shorter showers and unplugging appliances that we're not using.
I'm kind of guilty of letting my shower warm for 10 minutes before getting in it, so I've been just jumping in the shower, and also when I brush my teeth, I turn the water off in between brushing.
One of the things that I used to do was, before I would shower, I'd turn the water on before I would get anything ready. So now I get everything ready, and then I take my shower, turn everything on. And I also have elected to stop using the floodlights that I have in my room, and I just use one lamp all the time. So I think I'm saving a lot of energy.
I only put my lamp on instead of putting my big light on in my room, and I've duct taped the light switches in the kitchen and
I'm here with Dr. Peterson, who just gave a lecture on conservation. So, Dr. Peterson, after your lecture, what do you want the students to walk away with?
Well, the one thing that I think is most important is using our fair share. I want students to think about every single action and their impact of every action. So when you buy a t-shirt and it's made in Honduras, it probably was made by a sweatshop worker or possibly a child slave. You turn on a light, it's burning coal. And if you think about every action, it's pretty easy to do the right thing. They've made it very easy so you don't think. So I tell everybody in my class, all I want them to do is think, and that's what I'd like them to do after this talk, is think.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm Connor Knight. This was the kickoff of the Conservation Challenge. And remember, LC, every step you take to be more energy efficient helps in a big way. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Connor. Friday and Saturday harbored many tensions on the basketball court for our Lady Hornets. We go now to Kestrel Curl for more.
What a better way to start off this segment than with a win. Wednesday, the men's basketball team went down the road a little bit to take on Randolph and came back with another win. Austin Chalemi registered another 20-point game, and Manny Hernandez added 11 points. The Hornets outscored Randolph 63-56. A Randolph lead for the first part of the second half didn't faze the Hornets as they kept their composure, not falling to the pressure of late-game foul shots. They sunk them and won. It was all Lynchburg College Friday night in Turner Gym. The ladies were in full control the entire game as they had their way with Emory and Henry, winning 80-53. There was plenty of scoring to go around, and leading the way, of course, was Shannon Allen, who really has a way with filling those stat sheets, contributing 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 assists. But what's new, right? Caitlin Falls added 11 points. 4 Hornets tally double figures on the night. The women weren't as fortunate the next night when Guilford came to town for a game that was close in the first half and saw lead changes and close scores. The second half, Guilford extended their lead with less than 3 minutes left. Lynchburg was down by 12. They managed, however, to start a late game comeback and slice the lead in half. It was just a little bit too late for the Hornets. Despite their efforts, Elsie fell to Guilford 64-56. Leading the way again was Shannon Allen with 22 points. She also grabbed 9 boards. Callie Patterson came up 1 point shy of a double-double, scoring 9 points to complement her 10 rebounds. Baseball season has arrived. They opened the season in a non-conference matchup with Averett University. What a game it was. Down 6 runs to none in the 3rd inning, LC began to mount a comeback. Leading the way with his 4 RBIs was Brock Shiflett, who went 2 for 4 on the night. The Hornets scored 8 unanswered runs, starting in the 5th with Shiflett's 2-run double, helping the Hornets get an 8-6 victory. Starting for LC was sophomore James Womack, but it was senior Robert Garrett who earned the win for the Hornets, giving up just 2 hits in 6 innings. He remained cool, calm, and collected as he sent them all back to the dugout in the 9th, with a 3-up, 3-down inning to end the game. The Red Swarm needs your help, so put on your red and come out and help the Hornets get some wins. Look online to see what games are coming up this week. Back to you, Caroline.
Thank you, Kestrel. The Anderson Leadership Conference was held Saturday, helping to shape tomorrow's leaders. Brendan Gannicott has the scoop.
And sometimes a brand that you created initially is not always the easiest brand to shake off after you've already created it. We were talking right before you guys got in here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is he? Terminator. Terminator. Are you sure? Because I don't think he's Terminator anymore. Who is it? He's the governor. Okay, so we went from Terminator, which he played many other roles, but he is known as Terminator, to trying to totally transform his brand and become an entirely new personal brand and become the governor of California. Would you guys say that his first brand was effective? Was Terminator an effective brand? Would you say that his brand as the governor of California is effective? No. Debatable. Why?
Break into 2 groups, so if I can have this half of the room just wiggle together, and this half wiggle together, and then I'll give you 2 cases, and it has questions for you guys in there, and then you'll have 5 minutes to discuss them and answer the questions, and after that we'll come together and you'll present your case to the other group and what you came up with. Okay? So this side here.
They go on the back and on that side. This is a little tool called the Time Management Matrix that I found, and I'm a very visual learner, so this is something that really brought the message home for me. So I'm going to explain it a little bit. If you look in quadrant 1, it's the quadrant of demand, things that are both urgent and important. This is usually the core of a busy person, tasks that are important but also urgent. You can't put them off because they have to be done right now.
Thanks, Brandon. What's up with this weather? It's time to ask Billy Orndorff what to expect. Billy?
Finally, winter has decided to rear its ugly head. This past week has been one of the coldest we have seen for the winter. Still, for snow lovers, we won't be seeing much of the white fluffy stuff in the area for this week. Also, the wind will be dying down after we saw over 25 miles per hour in wind gusts this weekend. Now to our 7-day forecast. We will be seeing our highs in the upper 40s and low 50s for the bulk of the week. We will be seeing some rain on Tuesday and Thursday with mostly sunny skies for the rest of the week. Remember, if you like what you see here on television or YouTube, you can also get your daily weather forecast on Facebook. Just go on to Facebook, find IONLC Weather, and like us. Don't worry, we won't send you any spam. Back to you, Caroline.
Thank you, Billy. Tune in next week to learn the latest, greatest, and greenest news right here on IONLC.